Okay. Hi everyone, I am Sophia. Also, excuse the noise. I feel like I'm at a concert. This is really funny. But essentially, I'll be talking about Celo, particularly how to build on Celo and why this is a great opportunity to build apps for everyday problems for everyday users. And then a little intro about me. I am currently the DevRel engineer lead at Celo. And if you have any questions, feel free to find me at the Celo booth afterwards or add me on Twitter. Before I go into everything, wanted to do a little brief of what is Celo. Has anyone here heard of Celo before? Like a quick show of hands? Awesome. Okay, I think that's most of you. But just as a little recap, Celo is an emerging Ethereum layer 2 and mobile-first blockchain network that is built for the real world and designed for fast, low-cost payments worldwide. So what exactly do we mean when we say Celo is built for the real world? Well, is anyone familiar with this campaign, the Crypto is Useless campaign? Have anyone heard when maybe you're telling your parents or friends like that you work in crypto and they respond, well, crypto is useless. Is that like a saying that you've heard? Well, for many don't understand the real world applications that crypto technology can have. And it's important that we continue to build for users that need crypto. So to this argument, crypto is useless, we'd argue that crypto is not useless if you need it. Wait, how do I see? I don't know how to play video. Sorry, 1 second. I'm trying to get my video to show. Okay. Wait, sorry. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what happened.
Me neither.
I'm just gonna like that. Okay, let me just do Google.
Yeah, I think it's on the other screen, right?
Oh, got it.
Oh, yeah, like this. It's okay if you do it like this or...
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, sorry about that. The video wasn't working on this, but essentially for Celo, our apps are particularly designed centered around solving a real world problem. So as we see, we have MiniPay, and it's arguing that crypto is not useless. Whether you've lived with hyperinflation or you've run a small business, or whether you need certain microloans. So these are some of the applications within the Celo ecosystem, and we're really targeted on our end users. So Celo is specifically designed to enable real-world use cases on Ethereum. So we're a layer 1 EVM compatible blockchain, and we're actually in the process right now of transitioning to an Ethereum layer 2. And we're optimized for mobile first. So we have certain features such as mapping phone numbers to wallet addresses or paying for gas fees with local stablecoins instead of needing a native currency. So you can check out all the other Celo specific features that enable app developers to build things and real world use cases on top of Ethereum. So a few of the bounties that you can expect and apply for that I want to talk about more in depthly today during this workshop is building an app built for mobile. And so we are offering 6,000 CUSD for this app. And I'll go into a little bit about what you can expect from this bounty. And then the second bounty that we have is the best open source tool built on our Celo L2 testnet. So like I mentioned before, Celo recently just deployed our L2 testnet on Alpha Juarez. So you can be one of the first builders to actually begin deploying and using this tool. So why mobile first? Well, 3 out of 4 people in the world own mobile phones. And right now, dApp development is optimized for desktop. So if we're only building applications where users can interact with the blockchain via a computer, we're really missing out on opportunities to be building for the global majority and building for users who can access the blockchain via their mobile phones. It's really important that us all as builders, as Ethereum builders, us all who are passionate about bringing real-world use cases of Ethereum globally to billions of users around the world, it's important that we ensure that we're providing value to everyday users where they already are. And one of the areas where users already are is on MiniPay. So is anyone here familiar with the Opera browser? If you can see that little circle. So it's one of the most popular browsers in Africa. They actually offer a little bit of free data each month. So it's one of the most popular browsers in the continent. And a little video about MiniPay. It's a stablecoin wallet built on the Celo blockchain that's natively integrated into the Opera browser. So if you open up the browser on Opera, you'll see a little MiniPay button where you can interact with the blockchain, use stable coins, send dollars to phone numbers, and you can register an account with a very Web 2-like experience. And it also comes with a built-in dApp discovery page. So not only is it a stablecoin wallet, it's also a distribution channel to dApps and regional specific dApps. Right now, MiniPay, since launching, has over 4 million active users and holders of this wallet. So when you're building apps for MiniPay, you are really building for all of these users as well. A few of the features that make this stablecoin wallet unique is that you can map phone numbers to wallet addresses. So you can pay phone numbers, pay people in your contact list, and the end user doesn't really realize they're using crypto. It's also super fast and low cost, so less than a tenth of a cent and 1 second block finality. And we have a dApp discovery page with regional specific apps. So since you're signing up with your phone number, if you open up the dApp discovery page in Kenya, maybe you have an M-Pesa off-ramp, but that will look different from if you open up the dApp discovery page in Brazil. So this allows app builders to build hyper-specific apps for their countries and their regions. And it's also designed for non-crypto native users. So right now, if you're trying to build an app for a non-crypto native user, how will they find out about your application? That's very difficult. With MiniPay, they already are active on this wallet, and they can easily interact with your app straight from the Opera Mini browser. So a little bit of why I encourage all of you all here and what the opportunities are for building on MiniPay is this is truly one of the best distribution channels, I would argue, in all of Web3. You can tap into Opera's large user base, which has about 100 million users. There's integrated dApp discovery, so users can interact with your app straight from the MiniPay wallet. They don't have to re-log in like a MetaMask wallet, pay for gas fees, and you get opportunity to build for everyday users, particularly users in Africa, but with the MiniPay standalone, this is really extending to a bunch of other regions as well. So how to build on MiniPay? How can you get started? Well, we at Celo DevRel built out a Celo Composer, which is essentially a quick start to easily create dApps optimized for MiniPay. And I'll show you a little bit of how that works. Essentially, there's a CLI that you can use in your terminal to install the MiniPay template. There's some pre-written smart contracts that are already there, and you can also access ready-made front ends to interact with the contracts. And it's also all built on a responsive web app that's optimized for MiniPay wallet testing. So a little bit of how this will work. And all of this, if you want to follow along, is in docs.celo.org. You can get exact step-by-steps, or you can check out the workshop videos where I have an exact template more in depth. But essentially, this is what the app will look like after you install the template. It's like a hard hat and a React framework all there, and then you'll have a link that you can use and actually paste that link right into the MiniPay site tester. So for anyone who has an Android, unfortunately, it's not active on iOS or Apple quite yet. You can download the test flight, and iOS will be coming soon. But right now, you have to test out the app within MiniPay. If you're applying for the bounty, and you don't have an Android, it's not a strict requirement. This is just if you want to check it out. So you can click on the MiniPay and open up the MiniPay wallet. I'll show you a bit of what this will look like. This is how the MiniPay wallet looks like. As you can see, there's a big dApp discovery feed right here. And then you can open up the site tester, where you can paste in, load in a website. So this is why we want people to build responsive web apps. And once you have that link, you can paste it into load it inside the site tester and test out different things with this app. So here I'm doing some examples of how you can begin testing out some of the key features that it comes with right away. If you are building on MiniPay and you want a bit of inspiration for apps, ideas, and use cases, we wrote out a few, such as payments on and off ramps, donations, X to earn, gift cards, coupons, merchants, micro work, reward-based games. These are just a few to get you started. Obviously, these are not strict requirements. But I did want to use this workshop and this session to offer a few useful tips for you all. So if you are building for MiniPay, it's really important that you begin with the first thing as focused on your end user. Identify the specific person that you're building for, identify a real problem that they're facing, and design around there. So even think small. You don't need to build for every single person. Think about maybe your where you're from, a regional specific use case to you, and that's the type of products that do really, really well on MiniPay. The other thing is keep it simple. Remember that a lot of the users who are interacting with apps on MiniPay have never interacted with crypto before, and they might not even realize that MiniPay is a stablecoin crypto wallet. They just see, oh, it's USDT, it's stablecoins, or it's a currency back to the US dollar. They don't really get that it's crypto, and they might not get it's crypto. So keep it super, super simple. And then the last thing is make it useful. So a reminder to address a local practical challenge, because again, those are the types of apps that people use. The second bounty that we have available is the best open source tool built on Celo, which is our L2 testnet, or Alphahora's L2 is the technical name for our L2 testnet, and we are giving out $4,000 in prizes. So here's a little graph. We are transitioning from an EVM compatible layer 1 to Ethereum layer 2 on the OP stack and part of the Optimism superchain. So we're doing this one for better alignment with the Ethereum ecosystem and more interoperability. So now instead of being a siloed L1, maybe on a siloed island, we can actually interact and have more interoperability with superchain L2s and other L2s in general. And there's opportunity for native bridging. So this really opens up the landscape. And this is a new chapter for Celo that has never really existed before. And again, you can all be the first to experiment on what this means. We're looking for tools and infrastructure that enhance the functionality of the Celo L2 ecosystem. Some use cases and ideas, again, this is just to get you started, is developer tooling, Celo Composer improvements, like I showed before, wallet integrations. Maybe you can integrate fee abstraction or SocialConnect into different types of wallets. Superchain interoperability. If you are building on another superchain and oracles try to figure out maybe Farcaster frames, how that can also be interoperable with Celo. And finally, some SocialConnect use cases. And I'll dive into what SocialConnect is. So earlier when I was talking about MiniPay, you can map phone numbers to wallet addresses. That is powered by a protocol on Celo called SocialConnect. And this maps off-chain personal identifiers like a phone number, email, maybe a Twitter username to an actual wallet address. So think of ENS, but actual identifiers we already have. What's cool is because every single person who uses MiniPay or Valora is actually creating a SocialConnect identifier. This means that SocialConnect is actually one of the largest on-chain identity protocols within the crypto ecosystem. And we already have over 3.5 million registered identifiers. It also really improves payment UX. So instead of having to send transactions to a wallet address, you can just send it to someone in your contact list. And what this means now is you will have a social graph of one of the best social graphs because you have your entire contact list as a social graph. And this really improves functionality for apps and what this can enable for maybe social apps as well. Some useful tips to keep in mind as you're trying to build on Alphahora's L2 is that this L2 is new and we really need your feedback to improve it. This is an ongoing process. Celo is an ecosystem of of contributors and builders, and the way that Celo improves is with builder feedback. So if you're trying to build on our Alpha Horizontal 2 that just launched last month and there's anything missing, make sure to check out our docs, and you can find our GitHub discussion page. Add in your feedback, add in your support, get involved in the ecosystem. Maybe we'll make that into bounties and offer bounties for people who are supporting and improving our testnet. The second thing is SocialConnect is still in early development from a builder standpoint. So if you're new to building on SocialConnect, we really, really need your feedback for improvements for improving the developer experience. And you can be one of the first builders to explore building on SocialConnect. So this is another really great opportunity, and you can really lead the way for there. So just to recap, Celo is on a mission to is a mission-first, planet-positive blockchain ecosystem leading a thriving digital economy. We are trying to create a blockchain that's built with purpose and built for all. And if you want to get started building on Celo, check out this QR code. It has all of our cheat sheets. I also have some physical hard cheat sheets with me that I can hand to all of you guys at the end. And come by the Celo booth. It's on the opposite side of the venue, where we will have those cheat sheets. You can check them out. They'll have links to our faucet, our explorers, tips for quick starts, everything you saw on the slides, more information about our bounties, app ideas, and everything, where to get support. Everything is on these cheat sheets. So go check them out. And that's all. Do we have time for a quick question? For a question, if anyone has anything.
I have a question about connecting to the phone number. And the, you know, like I have a phone number that I've had for 20 years. And then now it's become a bit of an identity. So I'm thinking, but it's not global, it's connected to the US. So I'm thinking, are you seeing like connecting, like a Google Voice or something that's a digital one that would be valid in every country, then to connect to the new application you're putting together?
Yeah, if I'm understanding your question correctly, it's if you have a phone number, are we seeing people using like a separate phone number to use these, or they're using their existing phone number?
Their existing phone number.
Okay, so most people will be using like their main phone number, like the one you've had for 20 years, but it's not actually stored on the blockchain. So SocialConnect uses a protocol called Otis, which actually is like it hides the actual phone number and wallet address. It just maps it. So it's not actually, you can't see your phone number from just the blockchain. You'll have to call a lookup and registry function to pull in the information. So most people are using their actual like phone numbers, but it's not, you're not posting your phone number like for everyone to see. You need this function to like unwrap it and actually process it.
I see. So not like WhatsApp.
Yeah, exactly. Cool. Well, if you have any more questions, come find me at my booth, at the Celo booth, and you can talk to anyone who's wearing a crypto. Yeah, not everyone who's wearing a crypto user shirt, because there's lots of us, but come find anyone on the Celo team. Thank you.